Hi everyone, Jack the Knee Tire Tano here, the internet's busiest, lowest subscriber count nerd. And today let's talk about the Zack Snyder Cut. So, for those of you who don't know, the Zack... so, ever since this little movie called Justice League came out, right? Maybe you heard of it. DC's trying to be Marvel with the Avengers or whatever. They released Justice League and it was shit. Now, granted, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I have not seen the full movie. And before, the DC fanboys are like, oh, that's just because you're a Marvel shill. I don't like any of I like some of the Marvel movies. Sure, absolutely. But I'm sick of the cinematic universe. I'm sick of most superhero movies by now, especially Marvel. I have huge issues about Marvel, which maybe I'll address in another video. But for now, I couldn't even get 10 minutes into the film. It was just, Steppenwolf and people who try to justify that this movie is good, just the original theatrical version, are just either tone deaf or just want a good DC movie, so they grasp so hard at anything. Like, people were saying, oh, Wonder Woman was the best movie ever, and it's like, yeah, it's good, it's okay, it's all right, but they're like, no, better than any Marvel movie, and it's like, that's not true. And people if you try to justify Batman versus Superman, that's another. I got so many videos, like, just from this. I'm so disorientated because I know I'm gonna get a bunch of shit if I get clout, but okay, so Justice League is terrible. It's tone deaf, yada yada yada. That's not what we're here to talk about. After the movie was released, I'm not gonna say the drama exclusively because that's for the families or whatever to deal with. So I don't want to be disrespectful. So let's just say Zack Snyder had a family tragedy in his life that he needed to address. So he had to he had to step down from Justice League. So then, another director, I believe it was the same director as the Avengers, stepped in and took over the project. So already, you got a mixture of tones and stuff, but they need to create the movie, and they did the best they could. And ever since then, DC fanboys, I'm just gonna say it right now, DC fanboys have been like, we released the Snyder Cut, Cut. And for a while, and this is still true in my opinion, that the Snyder Cut doesn't exist. At all. The internet just kept going and going, and then I guess after Jesus Christ, when did Justice League come out? I have no idea. It came out, and people were like, oh, we want the Snyder Cut because they think it's completely different, when in reality it's probably not. HBO, I guess, because they have a whole bunch of Warner Brothers properties, wanted to, capitalize on this. So they said, hey, the Snyder Cut, it's going to be coming to HBO Max. And it's like, okay, so was there existing footage? No. There's no existing footage that Snyder cut and that was just cut. Or that Snyder filmed that was just cut. They're literally remaking aspects of the movie, and it's going to cost them up to, I believe the quote was up to $20 million, possibly even more. And they're just going to, you can hear the disappointment in my voice. And they're just going to make it into, because I guess the additional footage is going to be up to 4 hours, so they're gonna cut it into 6 different parts, like a TV show or something. So are we gonna see some aspects that we've already seen in the Justice League movie? Is this gonna come out like Netflix, just binge watch, or is it gonna come out weekly? Because I'm not ready to deal with either, if I'm being honest. I don't know. This is a mess. They're literally recreating stuff. A director's cut, for those of you who don't know, is basically a director couldn't put everything in the movie he wanted to. So then years later, the studio re-releases the movie, but the director's cut with some, maybe 5 to 10 minute additional footage, right? We're talking about, maybe 30, maybe hours, probably hours of footage that was not shot, and they're just gonna recreate, or was shot and they're just gonna CGI around it, which is like, what's even the point? Like, is this what we're gonna do now? Is this really what we're gonna do? Like, if a director doesn't like the end product, or sees that the fans don't like the end product, they're just gonna be like,
I think that wasn't the real version. The real version I have in a vault somewhere, and will release once the studio gives me money to reshoot all that footage.
it's just a downhill spiral if we're just gonna edit movies. So like, once you release a product and it's out there, I believe it should just stay out there, whether good or bad, and then you just improve in your next movie, improve on your failure. But now it's just gonna be like,
I messed up. So there was some secret footage. I had a couple crayon drawings in one of my folders, and I decided to produce that into my director's cut. Yeah.
like, this is just so blatant, and I don't, like, I get the fans wanted the Snyder Cut or whatever, but like, it didn't exist, and I don't think it still exists. Like, I think they're just gonna CGI this shit up or something. I don't know. I'm kind of against it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of against it, just because the artistic integrity. It's like, I don't know if this is just a big corporate move, or if Zack Snyder genuinely, had ideas that were just scrapped by either DC, or, due to the tragedy or whatever. But I don't like re-editing movies. This just, it screams like, oh, if we failed at a movie, we'll just release a brand newer, polished version. Like, no. Like, this is exactly what happened with Batman vs. Superman. They released the Snyder director cut with, like, I think it was like 30 additional minutes, and everyone was like, oh, this is way better. This is way better than the theatrical version, when really it's not. It just paints a couple references to other DC superheroes, and that's about it. It doesn't really add any substance to it. You can't just, like, no matter how much you add to a movie, like, are we just gonna add hours to movies? Like, just, okay, this movie was shit, was 2 hours. Okay, it failed at the box office. We're gonna add another hour to it, and then it's gonna be better. Like, no, that's not the right. I don't like the sentiment at all. I mean, that's basically what I had to say about the whole thing. We are closing in at the death of cinema. Yeah, that's a little nihilist. How do I end this video on a high note? Like, comment, and subscribe. No, but I mean, obviously this is the death of cinema, but like, I don't like re-editing movies. That just doesn't seem like the right path to go on, and this is like a prime example. If fans aren't happy, just give them something to like. Just give them fan service. Fuck artist integrity, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, those are my thoughts. I'm Sinister Sheep. This has just been a quick video. Make sure to comment, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Make sure to check out my podcast, Sheep and Friends Podcast. Make sure to check out my good friend Markeith's music. He's coming out with a new song May 31st for once, so make sure to be on lookout for that on Spotify and Apple Music. And finally, check out Siku Senpai's channel. I'm not sure when he's going to release it, but I'm actually in his 10K special, so if you want to check that out, you get to see me. And I have a up-and-coming podcast that will have him as a guest, and we just discuss about anime and what it's like to have 10K subscribers. Like, I would know nothing about that. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Even if I don't have a bunch of subscribers, this is like, it's just a passion project, and just to know people, might be watching and actually care about what I have to say is kind of cool. Anyways, that's it for me. Peace.
As the atomic bomb implodes in my heart, that's when shit got dark. Kicking seats and throwing helmets in the air, didn't give a fuck. Saturday nights I'm staring at the sky, my thoughts are a stray dog wandering near the calm monsters that got me enraged or insane. How the fuck do I expect to change if I'm running backwards to black holes that suck me into the abyss? Big